One man, one mission, to rid the world of chronic anxiety once and for all. The Anxiety Guy, Dennis Simsek, shares his personal transformation from living a life filled with overwhelming worry to becoming a full-fledged positivity machine, a leading authority in generalized anxiety. Dennis gets to the truth of your mental health challenges and sets you on a path to transforming each and every area of your life. Here he is, the one and only, the Anxiety Guy.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Anxiety Guy podcast, episode number 22. I'm Dennis Simsek. Thanks again for joining me. Today's episode has a lot to do with why I've been away from podcasting for the last month, and I just want to get retouched up with you guys, communicate with you guys fully, and let you know what's been going on. And before we start, I really want you guys to head over to Facebook and make sure to like the Anxiety Guy on there, because that's where we're going to do all the updates for the podcast episode, for the blog. Everything goes through there, and you're going to get some invaluable information, not only from myself, but people that I interview, people that have something to say when it comes to anxiety and such. And Facebook, that Facebook page is absolutely fantastic, and I love how it's growing. Also on Twitter under the Anxiety Guys, so check that out. And with that said, let's get on to episode number 22. First of all, I had a couple of questions from people asking me, Dennis, you've been away a little bit. What's going on Facebook? You've been away from Twitter. And I want to kind of talk about that and what's been going on lately. And it all sort of started with this chronic cough that I had. And I was just coughing like crazy. And it's not one of those coughs that just, hit you for a little while and then go away after you, gargle some salt or something like that. This thing was chronic. And it kind of followed me all day long and all night. And it went on for a good month. And it really bugged me, and I was pretty concerned about it. I was like, what's going on here? I've never had a cough like this. And at work, and when I'm teaching tennis, it was following me there, and everybody was a little bit worried, and I started to get worried as well. That feeling in conjunction with a feeling of being chronically fatigued really started to worry me, because I was feeling really exhausted. I was feeling like I was completely burned out, and physically I felt like I couldn't even get out of the bed. I couldn't get off the couch, and mentally and trying to converse with people, it was almost like it was really difficult to maintain a conversation, and my memory was gone, and everything was just falling apart. And that was the main reason why I had to take a break from podcasting, and because I can't help people out there unless I'm feeling fully energized and fully healthy and such. So I want to apologize and tell you guys exactly what's been going on. So what I did was I went on Google, and I didn't want to Google those symptoms and everything and go in that same spiral that I talk about so much of not doing when you have anxiety. This was a little bit different. I wasn't feeling, really anxious. I wasn't feeling very fearful. It was just kind of a downer feeling, just kind of a really fatigued, not really depressed, but just really confused and lethargic. So I went on Google and I looked up some holistic doctors. A guy by the name of John Pudetti came up on Google here in Vancouver, and he was the number one holistic doctor in Vancouver. So I said, what, this is going to be a little pricey, but what's more important than your health? And I tried to work a few more hours and such, and try to get a consultation in, and then hopefully do a couple of treatments, whatever he thought would work for me. So he put me through a couple of tests. He asked me a number of questions. It was a consultation that lasted for about an hour and a half. And the first thing he wanted to do was to really take care of this cough. and he kind of diagnosed me as having chronic fatigue syndrome, something that's pretty new out there, that we don't know much about, and doctors definitely don't know anything about it. So don't bring up chronic fatigue syndrome with your family doctor, because he'll have no idea what you're talking about. This is more for the holistic naturopath doctors out there that focus on diet and natural ways to take care of some of the stuff going on in your body. So he put me through this test where the test actually tested 250 different foods that we typically eat on a daily in our daily lives. And some of those foods were things that I was taking in, lemon and the regular stuff, potatoes and certain cereals and whatever. And through that process, I came out with a lot of really good answers, because what was happening was this cough was basically due to inflammation in my body. And he recognized that quickly. And he made a link between the inflammation and certain foods that this test brought up. And after the test, there were certain 2-star foods, there were certain 1-star foods, and ones with no stars. And I typically really like to take care of myself. I eat really well. I exercise every day and such, and try to keep a really clean diet and work on, self-improvement every day, as you can see. But strangely enough, even some of those foods that you think are really good for you can really be affecting you. They can be causing your fatigue. They can be causing the inflammation in your body. And the 2-star foods are the ones that I had to replace with no-star foods. I like a glass of wine once in a while as well. And one of the things that came up there was that red wine was one of the 2-star drinks, foods that were affecting my body. So was causing inflammation and causing fatigue. And my body was in constant, fighting these feelings off. And I replaced red wine with white wine. And that simple change was absolutely incredible, because not only in the moment was I feeling, more normal after a glass of wine rather than kind of feeling absolutely drunk, but the next day I would feel like, I'm still okay here. I didn't feel like I was really tired. I just felt like normal. So that test was huge, and I don't know the exact name of that test, but I'm going to post it on Facebook in the next couple days here. But the original machine was made in Germany, so that was pretty interesting. And with that, what he also recommended, and I started to do this, and I've been doing it for about a month and a half now, is supplementing through an IV. Because what happens is we take a lot of these supplements, tons of supplements, and trying to help our bodies and our minds, and so we Google things and we say, hey, this might help, hey, that might help, and so on, but we really don't know what can really make a difference in our minds, our bodies, or in our emotions. So I started supplementing with an IV. So he'd put an IV in me, and that would get directly into my bloodstream. And what he said was, on a separate issue, people that are dealing with cancer in their lives usually supplement through an IV on a daily basis, whereas someone who's going through chronic fatigue does it usually on a weekly basis. And I thought that was really interesting. And through that IV supplementation, there was a number of different vitamins and minerals in there that were going directly into my bloodstream, and I could actually feel a humongous difference in my energy levels, in how clear my mind was. About in the 3rd week. Now I believe I'm in the 5th or 6th week. And if you're feeling, chronic fatigue and such, I really recommend these IV supplementations through a holistic doctor, because it makes such a big difference. You can almost throw out your own supplements and just do the IVs once a week. And that would be much more beneficial than actually just popping those pills every single day, because a lot of times those just get peed out, and that your body doesn't really take in those nutrients. And the one that he truly was preaching a lot was something called glutathione. Glutathione is actually an antioxidant that naturally occurs in the body, and actually helps clean heavy metal toxins in our systems. And it's specific for chronic fatigue syndrome. And with that glutathione, I was starting to feel fantastic after, like brand new. And it's not really proven, everybody's got different experiences with it, but this is kind of experimental, and I'm kind of giving you guys advice today as far as how to deal with your chronic fatigue. And I believe that going to a doctor is the worst thing you can possibly do when it comes to your chronic fatigue, because a lot of times they're going to be ready with a prescription. They're going to send you off to an anti-anxiety medication or an antidepressant. As soon as you bring up fatigue and emotions, that's going to come up right away, and they're trained to do that. And the big pharmacy companies out there, are preaching this towards doctors, and doctors get paid extra to prescribe these things to you guys. And these are things that we need to do our research in, and so on. And I cannot tell you how much better I've been feeling. I really feel like that test where I had to kind of tweak my diet, what a difference that has made. The IV supplementations, what a difference that has made. Along with those, there was 2 more supplements that John gave me, trying to take care of. One was called adrenal response, and the other one I believe was a multivitamin. And the adrenal response one was actually working right away. And you just feel better. You just feel like you're not just trying to get through the day. You're not just trying to, when you wake up in the morning and go, oh God, it's Monday again, blah, blah, blah. How's this day going to go? What am I going to be face to face with? And the nice thing about these holistic doctors is not only do they help you with, taking care of your body, your mind, and your emotions, they also give you a lot of advice, mentally, because it's a constant journey. When someone talks to me and goes, Dennis, how were you able to do this so quickly? How were you able to overcome anxiety so quick? How are you able to deal with health anxiety, hypochondria? And I keep telling them that it's a journey. It really is. If anybody's out there and tells you, oh, I miraculously did this one thing and everything changed, it's complete bullcrap. It's crap, because it's in our genes. It's in our programming. When we were young, we were programmed to have these certain links. So my dad's beliefs were actually coming on to me, and those turned out to be my beliefs in the future as an adult. So, we made all these links between, for instance, how we deal with people, how we look at people, how we look at, driving, how do we look at our careers, how we look at our significant others, how we deal with our own kids in our own life. We've made these links in our lives so early on that they continue into adulthood. And don't be surprised and go, oh man, why do I feel this way? Why am I always so negative? Why am I always so fearful? Because those have started at such an early age. And the one thing that John, my holistic doctor, has really been preaching is that he really wanted me to kind of turn my worry to fun. And of course, overcoming health anxiety and overcoming an anxiety disorder is probably one of the most difficult things you'll have to do in your life. But once you're done that, and once you've overcome it, it's almost like nothing else in this world can stop you from doing anything you want in your life. You have the tools. And it really does make you feel really powerful, like you can take on anything. But of course, you're gonna come into those moments where you take a few steps back in your life, because this is a constant journey. It's not just, oh, I've conquered this back a few months ago and nothing like that's ever gonna come up again. That's not true, And I can be honest with you in my own life, because these things come up from time to time. Things that make you sad, things that make you worry, things that even make you depressed. We're only human. So he basically told me, Dennis, you need to start, you took a step back and you need to start turning your worry into fun. Nothing in this world is worth worrying that much over. Nothing in this world is worth it. And it's not worth your health, and it's not worth your mental strength. It's not worth it. It's not worth depleting yourself over something that's so small. A job, a friend, someone on the street that just gave you a bad look. It's not worth it. It's not worth it because it's depleting you. And the best way that I wanted to share with you to take care of that fatigue feeling, and I truly believe that through this experience, it's taught me that we need to take care of our bodies first before we start to take care of our minds and our emotions and our spirit. Because with a body that's constantly fighting to find its optimal health, it's very difficult to partake in things like meditation and yoga and whatever other tools are out there that are going to help us stay in that peaceful state. Because first you got to take care of the body. Get the body feeling optimal again. Get the body feeling strong again. Get the body to be able to do a full workout and feel fantastic after. Get the body in order. Get into a natural holistic doctor, take the tests, do the IVs, take the supplements that they recommend, and then from there you can start to work on yourself. You can start to work on your emotions, your spirit and such. And it's going to become that much easier to do that because you've already taken care of the small things. And that's the message I wanted to send to you guys. And I want to promise you that from now on, week to week, these podcasts are going to be available for you. Make sure to download them through iTunes, as well on anxietyexit.com. You can listen to these and you can download it there as well. I'm also going to post this on YouTube under The Anxiety Guy. So make sure to subscribe through YouTube, because I'm going to make a bunch of mobile uploads from time to time for you guys. And I hope this episode has given you some inspiration. I can't wait to see you guys on episode number 23. Take care. I'll see you guys soon.